Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the official video webcast of GeekRest.com, Orlando's second best blog,
Yes.
local blog,
With Orlando's best everything else.
filmed in Orlando's best comic shop.
Yes.
With Aaron Hahn, yeah, once again.
Brony.
Brony. On the
Hi,
cover,
Brony.
it's the cover's back there, Orlando Weekly. If you see a giant pink pony on the cover,
Right.
it's
Essentially,
the thought of this guy.
we won so many awards with Orlando Weekly that they're like, why don't you write something for us? And I was like, I'll write something about My Little Pony. Because I'm not going to sell out.
They said cut loose.
I'm not going to sell out.
So, this is a back weekly recap of news. We actually filmed this. We filmed this on Friday. So when we filmed last week, all the tricklings of news about this whole big, shooting at the Dark Knight Rises in Colorado was like just coming in.
Right.
We didn't say anything about it because, it was developing at the time. And then 1 week later, just from my end, condolences go out to everyone who was affected. It's unbelievable now in a heartbeat how everything Dark Knight Rises related for a couple days there
Right.
had such a bad,
I really
shadow
liked all
over
the shadow of the bad.
Yeah.
But all of the fan and professional artwork responses on Tumblr and whatnot. I saw so many really meaningful pictures of trying to find meaning out of it and trying to it was just kind of cathartic.
Yeah.
And a lot of the tribute type stuff really reminded me personally of what happened after Triforce
Right.
Mike died.
Yeah.
You want to do something to process your emotions. And
Yeah.
so if you draw, you want to draw a picture,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we're going to have a big event on August 11th
Right.
for a big charity event where we're going to have the local people that dress up like Batman, the people that dressed up like Batman and Bane and whatnot at the movie theater here. The actual people at the
Yeah.
IMAX are going to be here for that. And
Oh, you
we're
mean
go-
the guys who went all out at Point
Yeah.
Orlando? Like,
Yeah.
all I could hear was people talking about
Yeah.
the spectacle they put
Yeah,
on.
and
cool. That's cool.
The Bane guy that actually picked up the Batman
Yeah.
at the thing, he's going to be here.
Oh, cool.
And
That's
they're
cool.
going to raise money for the charity for the victims, their families, and everybody there. So
Yeah.
that's what we're going to do. That's going to be our response. Is going to be something very respectful: art auctions, charity auctions, donations,
Right.
free beer. But like
Drinking.
So we're going to do what we can do with that, and
Very cool.
hopefully it's going to be good.
Yeah. So, that's it. That's past. Our condolences. And because of this, on an interesting note, a lot of the studios are very concerned about all the, everything that came up because of this whole event. And one of their reactions was pushing back Batman Incorporated #3.
Right.
You're supposed to push it back. They shipped it out, but they're
It was
saying,
already
"Don't
on the
sell it."
trucks. It was already on the invoices, already in the boxes.
It's a touchy
so-
week. Don't be throwing any guns in comics and Batman Inc., which is pushed back.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a gesture. It doesn't really do
It's-
anything. To me, it's like DC was damned if they did, damned if they don't. It was
Yeah.
like Batman 3 had a
It's-
scene on the first page where a teacher, this is the first page, so it's not really a spoiler. A teacher pulls a gun in her classroom
Yeah.
because Leviathan, because of the whole overarching main enemy
Yep.
in Batman Inc. Nothing happens. You don't see any kids being shot. You don't see anyone in the classroom being shot. She just pulls a gun.
Yeah.
But with that, DC decided to tell us to hold it.
The imagery is a little bit
about a
strong.
month.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't just that there was a gun in Batman. It was that it was pulled on a room of innocent people or whatever. So, to me, it's a gesture. And if DC didn't actually say to pull it, perhaps Fox News would have run with that image like, you see DC promotes this type of violence just a week after, look how insensitive they were. So while I don't see the real, anything that pulling that solves or fixes or who benefits from it, it does.
It's a nod. It's
Yes,
a gesture.
it's a gesture.
It's like everyone's like, there's no reason to launch off in any kind of hot topic discussions. Did they do the right thing? It's all they can do, really.
I'm glad they didn't say they were going to pull all Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Like Batman Dark Knight still came out this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
So.
And that's dark. But, because of that, Grant Morrison quit. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
He didn't quit because of that. But he announced that he is leaving.
It was weird that the announcement was right when.
It was
So-
kind of funny because it was within 24 hours of each other.
Yes.
But he announced that he's going to be leaving. I think it was known, Batman Inc. after 12 issues.
Yeah, he had a
was gonna-
12-issue commitment because that was the rest of his Batman story that he began with Batman and Son.
That's his baby.
Yeah, so
Damien is his boy. But he's going to be leaving that, and whatever creative team comes in afterwards.
I don't even know if they should continue Batman Inc. afterwards. I know, of course, they should continue anything that's selling strongly, but unless they have a creator with a great vision and pitch of where to go next with however Morrison leaves Batman Incorporated, they should just,
I mean, it is just another Batman and Robin book. If
Batman
Morrison
and
leaves-
Batman.
Batman and Bats. But Action Comics, Grant Morrison announced that he'll be leaving as well after,
I think issue 16.
12 or 16. But all right, I'm actually okay with that. I hate to say it.
I love Grant Morrison. I've always loved Grant Morrison. I've loved Grant Morrison from the Invisibles, from his Vertigo stuff. And his JLA run back a decade ago, 2 decades. I'm old now, so
Fantastic.
it was really great. It showed that he could pull everything together and do a story that crazy science fiction, crazy ideas, like, big heady stuff, but still have it in the shared universe in such a way that maybe even hindered him. Like, they had to have blue Superman at a point because Superman turned blue, and they had to have Wonder Woman's mom Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman died, and it was, and they had to have like other Dark Flash because Wally's cousin Fox was, but still it was great.
In the Golden Day, he did superheroes
in a way
fantastic.
that a lot of people accepted, and I see that he constantly evolves, and I love the writer. As a store owner, I really get tired of hearing the people complain about his Batman, like they didn't understand Batman R.I.P., they didn't understand Final Crisis, and I do agree, you don't call a book Crisis and not have the tropes of Crisis in it, of all the other
better
Crisis
not.
things, because those are the expectations the readers have going in.
Right.
He could have called the book like wacky crazy stuff with Batman and whatever.
Wacky, wild, inflatable.
But he called it Final Crisis, and it was, and DC also misstepped by having a book called Countdown to Final Crisis that did not lead into Final Crisis in any way. So DC put the perception of what it had from the Countdown, called the Countdown, and put the word crisis in it, which people have read so many crises, and that I see, And then action started so strong with people like, oh, I really like this, to what is going on? Why is there 2 Supermans? What is it, jumping around in time?
It was really strong out of the gate, and then Animal sort of took it over for me and Swamp Thing, and then all of a sudden I realized Action Comics is pretty much in the back pile.
I really did like the Earth 23 single issue though with the Black Superman.
Yeah,
that was great. But needless to say, Grant Morrison's superhero stuff is mixed reviews from the average DC superhero fan.
Right.
And I can say this because I deal with these day in and day out as a comic shop. And Action sells extremely well, way better than it had ever sold to this day still with the relaunch in Grant Morrison. However, if he's out of steam, if he feels
for
like
superheroes,
he doesn't, well, that's what he's saying. He's saying that it's no longer bringing him joy, and he doesn't really have anything more to say with them right now. Do wild and crazy independent stuff.
He's going over creator-owned works
with Happy. And Image because of the Vertigo deal with all that stuff.
I would rather see Grant Morrison put in.
I'll take him back with open arms.
Easily.
Rebrand him. Someone needs to take over Doom Patrol for the new 52.
Yeah.
Grant Morrison was the only Doom Patrol I truly loved. So, Jeff Lemire, please do it.
Give me a Jeff Lemire Superman.
Well, Jeff Lemire could come after any Grant Morrison thing and make it insane. I mean, he did it with Kid Eternity this week. He did it with Animal Man, obviously, and it's just like, come on, man. Let's do some more Grant Morrison revamps.
What about Rob Liefeld?
Rob Liefeld, he's a nice guy. He's a sweet man. Yeah. A lot of industry people like him. He had a big, scuttlebutt with Kirkman, but he's a trooper. He loves comics. He promotes other people's comics.
Yeah.
What I deal with in my store with college-age people and they're professors basically, because those are the 2 groups I have in here predominantly. They don't like him.
No.
They don't like him. The young people, they have no nostalgic pull towards him.
No.
And it seems like the older people are somewhat embarrassed that they liked him, so the nostalgia is just not there.
Right.
Like when I was a kid, when he started with New Mutants, I was like, oh my God, Becky, someone put Terminator in the New Mutants. I love this.
Yeah.
So I love that, and then he created the Deadpool, or co-created Deadpool in there, and I love that. And, I even like Cable. I was like, dude, I wish my dad was Cable. This guy's badass.
Insane.
And when X-Force came bagged with, all the different trading cards, I mowed extra lawn so I could get all of those, So I am not a Liefeld hater. However, I want modern comics from a modern push that is the New 52 to sell to modern readers.
Yeah.
And Rob Liefeld can do whatever he wants to do independently, but his DC stuff just did not connect with readers at my store at all.
Yeah, which sucks because I like Deathstroke. Like, I love Deathstroke, and he's writing and illustrating that.
I love Deathstroke, and it was like, they really should have pushed that it was like a geezer noir, like Kick-Ass is an old man. What if Kick-Ass got really good and then started slipping a bit because he's old? It was like
shouldn't be noir. That's good. I kind of like that pitch actually. I mean,
it was so hyper violent, like Kick-Ass, but he was, I don't know, because you see all this stuff where someone's like coming up and screwing up year one stuff where they're learning.
Yeah.
I want to see more things where someone's like past their prime and are losing, because I mean that's our that's what we're dealing with, is like our parents and grandparents aren't dying, so we're gonna have to take care of them, and our retirement's going to be taking care of them because they're not going to die because of all the medicines and whatnot, and they're not going to think that they don't think they have to stop having sex because there's the Viagra, like they don't think they have to give up their driver's license.
No.
So anyway, there's a lot of good things you could do with Deathstroke, but Rob Liefeld.
In Flashpoint, they had him an old man on the boat.
Yeah, the pirate, because he's always had one eye. That worked, but I am happy that Rob Liefeld's stepping away from these books, because
once again going the career
they weren't selling.
Right.
They just weren't selling.
Grifter wasn't doing good.
And Rob Liefeld's fans, which he does have fans, I'm not trying to totally slag the man at all.
No.
His fans will follow him to his creator-owned stuff.
Right.
And they will sell probably almost as well as his DC stuff, because his fans will follow him. So there are fans of Deathstroke that would not buy it because of him. And and I get putting him on Deathstroke. It's like, Deadpool was a parody of Deathstroke, and now we're putting the guy that co-created Deadpool on him. This is going to work, right? And it's like, it didn't for me.
It's a horrible association to have, but
Facepalm.
Facepalm. One thing I am looking forward to, however, I will say, Valiant Comics threw out a teaser this week for Shadowman. Kind of cool.
It was like the Drizzle from
Drizzle.
Hunger. Remember Aqua Teen Hunger Force, where the Drizzle, it was Master Shake had this secret identity, and he wanted business cards, and he wanted it black on black.
This is the Drizzle. Yeah.
He wanted it black on black. He wanted black ink on a black card, and that's what the Shadowman image was.
It was hard. I had to click on the JPEG on the solicitation they sent me. I had to click on it and drag it, and then you could see the image appear. Right. But in a black little box, the silhouette of Shadowman.
If you shift over and cover it, then you can see it better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you know how shift makes it more blue?
Don't tell me.
Like
tell
a blue
Valiant,
overtone?
because I couldn't see it at first.
No, I think that was cool that they did that.
That's cool, and Shadowman was one of their biggest selling titles from them. It was like
it had great creators on it, and it was all cool with them playing the saxophone in New Orleans and whatnot.
That was outselling. I remember Captain America, Hulk, all the big Marvel, Batman. Like, it was outselling at that time.
I had a Shadowman T-shirt. I loved that image of the doorway and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That's kind of cool. But that comes out in November. I'm excited. I'm excited for Valiant. It's turning into the fall of Valiant, though, the summer.
Right, and the other thing about Valiant, that I understand they're a small publisher, but the fact that they're just doing one a month, so they can have the marketing of one a month each month, that's phenomenal. Whereas DC's a huge juggernaut, but they 52 all in 1 month, 52 new number ones, and it's like here's 4 Watchmen number ones all in 1 month, and it's just like, I like, as a retailer, I like to be able to just pitch one new thing a month.
Right.
It's kind of neat. So,
and
kudos to Valiant. They're doing everything right with their marketing and their distribution, and all that is pitch perfect.
And Ninjak coming into X-O Manowar number 5. They're all coming back.
And my favorite so far has been Harbinger.
Harbinger?
Yeah. That's my favorite.
I think that's probably their golden boy, but X-O.
I love Rob Venditti, and X-O is great, but there's just something about Harbinger, about just when your protagonist is a rapist, that's something new. I've read stuff about the protagonist being a serial killer and that kind of stuff, but rapist protagonists, I don't know, man. That's some edgy stuff.
That's some edgy stuff there.
I want to see how they handle this, It's like the train wreck.
That's kind of cool. And in silly stuff, I'll just throw this out there. All Winner Squad, they debuted this little web series online, but it makes use of Marvel's much lesser known characters.
Right.
The highlight probably being Howard the Duck. It's a fun little animated web series. I'm only mentioning it because where else are you going to watch a show about Stiltman?
Right.
And Squirrel Girl.
I love Howard the
That's
Duck.
cool.
I love Squirrel Girl. These are characters that a lot of like hardcore fans really dig, and they're also characters that should be able to catch on the internet with just tumbling and stumble upon and just little memes about them and
memes
whatnot.
everywhere.
That it just seems to me like if Howard the Duck was created now, instead of like that whole thing of him running for president and all that stuff, he would just be the internet's little darling duckling. Like I don't know, characters like him and there's different like esoteric characters that I really think would work well on the internet. Maybe not to the comic book fans that are just like a lot of attrition. Like a lot of people in the comic book stores are just really old school people that just only like the biggest names,
right.
or at least so few are around that the smaller names sell lower. But
right.
Obviously Blade did phenomenally in the movie theater, could never maintain a comic book
Wesley,
for anything.
No,
So,
not at all.
Howard the Duck, I would love, and it sucks that his movie was so panned, but
Leia Thompson.
I think that Howard the Duck, Squirrel Girl, some kind of like Ducky Dozen of the weirdest, characters could really catch on for Marvel on the internets, on 4chan, and then bring it to comics the way they did with My Little Pony. 'Cause
Right.
if they just did a My Little Pony comic before all this nuttiness on the internet, people are like, what?
It's a web series stuff. It's like it's like those DC animated shorts, DC Nation shorts.
Oh, yeah.
They do like Animal Man and stuff like that. Those are like built for web series.
And Plastic Man.
Plastic Man.
Plastic Man, I'm just sorry, but he kind of works better in animation than in comics. And I sound like an asshole because I built my whole life on comics. But, like sequential art, he's kind of more, you wanted the sight gags of the jokes, like.
Do you know Devil Dinosaur?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
and Moon Boy?
Think about S.H.I.E.L.D. versus Godzilla. Come on.
Right.
I want to see it.
Why not?
That's a fun little mini series on the web. And finally, the Man of Steel teaser trailers were released this past week, along with Batman: The Dark Knight Rises in theater. Did you see it? Did you see the teaser?
Yeah.
Did you see it at San Diego?
Yeah.
Did you really? Did you?
Well, yeah, because the Warner Brothers, they had that going, But
I didn't see.
well, the thing is,
That looked cool though.
a lot of people in
I'm
the theater, like, obviously I know it's Man of Steel because duh,
yeah.
But a lot of people in the theater,
They're like,
the whole teaser, like you don't see anything about Superman. You see the DC Comics logo and it's like, duh. And then like, he's on this boat and I'm like, everyone's like, what's it? I heard like mumbling.
Fisher boat,
And I'm
yeah.
like, dude, it's Aquaman. So anyway, whatever. So then you saw Superman doing that little sonic boom and it looked cool and people were like, oh, cool, Superman. But still, they should have just had him punching something, because I don't know, because.
yeah, I know they had more footage at San Diego Comic-Con that showed more action shots.
Right.
But, it's over a year away still. They're teasing.
They should have had him save
But
Batman.
I'm excited for
They should have had
Superman.
him save Batman in Dark Knight Rises. Just had him save Batman, and then it's like, and he just wink at the camera and say, "Watch my movie next summer," and then, ding. Yeah, that would have been cool.
That's it. Next teaser. But check it out on the internet. That's out there now. That's it, pretty much. A little weekly recap. Grant Morrison was pretty much her.
I love
he's
Grant
all meat and
Morrison,
bones.
and I can't wait for his Happy.
Happy. from
I
Image
read the
Comics.
first several pages of that in the previews guide, and
you did?
they black out the curse words in that because the preview guide
Touchy.
is just it's for everybody,
Yeah.
whatever. But it's like every other word on those 4 pages is blacked out, and it's just, oh my god.
It makes me want to read it.
Yes.
So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us Facebook, Twitter. I'll see you next week.
Comic Shop.
All right.
GeekRest.